Hello. Yes, welcome back to another live stream, guys. Hello, welcome. I'm on my own today as it is the Christmas special. I don't know how this is going to go. I haven't done one on my own in over a year now. It's been the last one would have been the last Christmas special, funny enough. So it's been a good old year since I've done one of these by myself. A little bit nervous doing it by myself, I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, I'm back. Hello, guys. I can see there's quite a few people here, quite a few comments coming in. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, this is going to be my last one for this year. As always, finishing on a little Christmas special. Very exciting. So yeah, we got quite a few comments here. So I'm going to just start cracking on. And guys, when I'm on my own, I normally do tend to get through most of the comments. So please do keep throwing your comments at me because hopefully you should get through most of them, if not all of them today. But I do want to bring this one up first because it's from my very good friend Alex, who's just incredibly kind here. He's donated £5. That's so amazing as always, mate. Merry Christmas, James. Have a good one. Thank you so much, mate. And have a good Christmas as well, buddy. Thank you so much for that. He's such a kind guy. Thank you. Sabian's Awesome Gaming is here. Hello, mate. And he follows that up with, bet you're not happy that today is the 3rd anniversary of Rise of Skywalker. Didn't know that until you just pointed it out. It was meant to be a happy stream today. Yeah, but anyway, hey, it is what it is. Cameron B's here. Hope it's going well. Very well. Thank you, mate. Thank you for being here. Hello, Joe. My very good friend is here. Jack. Hey, my friend. Been a while since I've been in the comments on one of these. Well, it's good to have you here, Jack, from Bring Your Own Popcorn. Very good to have you here, my friend. Joe says, Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas to you too, my friend. Won't be able to stay long going to watch the Amazing Spider-Man movies again. I think Andrew Garfield is underrated. Fair enough. I think he is. I think he's a very good Spider-Man, but I don't think his movies are very good. But he got to be in a good movie in the end. There's always hope that he might get another chance yet, but we're not sure. Jim's here. Hello, mate. Do you have a favorite superhero, Marvel and DC? Do you know what? I don't really, because I think my favorite superhero is always going to be the Batman. But I mean, I don't know. I love Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Every time I watch a movie and he's on screen, it's just something else. So I really don't know. It's a bit of a difficult one. That I don't really have a favorite superhero, to be honest. So yeah, and to be honest, I don't really. I'm not like the biggest superhero. I know I watch all the movies and stuff, and I like to think I know a decent amount about Marvel and DC, but there's much bigger superhero people out there than me. Anyway, Winslow's here. Watched It's a Wonderful Life for the first time yesterday. What can I say? Masterpiece. Yeah, it is really great. My plan is to watch that Saturday or Sunday. Probably Saturday because I think it'll be too slow for a lot of my family on Christmas Day. So I think that'll be Home Alone Day. So yeah, they're my two favorite, or no, two of my three favorites. I'd say my favorite Christmas film is still Home Alone, then it's Love Actually, then it's a Wonderful Life. But those three films there are all absolutely incredible. Can we boot Jack from the comments for liking Alien Resurrection? Yeah, I watched your I watched your review of Alien Resurrection. Sorry, there was a spammer there in the comments. Not a very nice one either. Yeah, I watched your review, Jack, of Alien Resurrection, and I gotta say, we gotta have a chat about why you liked that movie. I thought that movie is so shit. Although I saw a very interesting clip today, funny enough, from the behind the scenes of Alien Resurrection. Do you know that shot where Ripley or Clone Ripley or whatever throws the basketball backwards and she gets it in the hoops? You know, she actually done that. That wasn't CGI. She did actually do that. So there's a cool little fact for you about that movie. Here's another fact. It sucks. That's been just under a year that I've been in the group chat with you guys. Well, that's been no time at all. Yeah, it has been a nice long time now, Jack, and it's been a pleasure having you in there. Great guy. One of my favorite YouTubers. Sorry, we got a spammer here. We always get these spammers every every one of these streams, we always get a couple spammers who like to kind of ruin it. But anyway, yeah, it's been and obviously, Jack, you're one of the top guys in the community, so it's always a pleasure to have you on the streams as well. Is Revenge of the Sith better than Return of the Jedi? I would say so. I love Revenge of the Sith so much. It's my third favorite Star Wars film. Although for me it is the most rewatchable. But A New Hope and Empire will always be my favorites. But yeah, I think Revenge of the Sith is my third favorite, and I'd say it's the most rewatchable for me. Can we boot Alex from the comments for disliking Elvis? That's also fair because Elvis was really good. I'm gonna let you two battle that one out. But I side with both of you on each of those. Alien Resurrection, I do agree is bad, and Elvis I thought was really good. Thoughts on the Oppenheimer trailer? I loved it. I actually haven't watched it yet. I know that and Barbie have been shown in front of Avatar, and I unfortunately missed Avatar on Friday because I had something come up. I'm seeing it tomorrow, and I'm just gonna wait for the Oppenheimer trailer on the big screen, but I couldn't resist watching the Barbie one. I'm really excited for that Barbie movie. I'm not super excited for Oppenheimer, if I'm being honest. I really hope it's good, but I don't know. It's probably it might make my top 10 most anticipated next year, but it will definitely be near the bottom. There's some other films I'm looking forward to a lot more. Do you ever look at the old Siskel and Abbott reviews on YouTube? I find them fascinating. I don't know them, if I'm being honest. Have not heard of them. How come you almost never give 5 out of star ratings on Letterboxd? I think I do. I think I give a fair few out. I think I've got about 40 films or so on 5 stars, 2 from this year. For me, the film has to be damn near perfection to be a 5 star. And my average rating on Letterboxd is a 3 to a 3.5. So I think I'm pretty fair with my reviews on there. But I love Letterboxd. It's honestly my favorite app. I spend way too much time on it. It's ridiculous. What are your thoughts on the Grinch 2000 Jim Carrey version? Well, funny enough, only watched it for the first time about 3 weeks ago. All the spam comments come back. I thought I got rid of them. Okay, maybe they're just on my screen. I've completely lost where I am on the comments now because my computer just sort of bugged out. Sorry. Yeah, I definitely had seen the Jim Carrey Grinch film when I was younger because there were bits of it I remembered. And the same with Jingle All the Way. That's another film I sort of watched for the first time over the last couple of weeks. They're kind of like those two and The Holiday are like the 3 Christmas films I had yet to watch. The Holiday I definitely hadn't seen before, but the Jim Carrey Grinch and what I just said it, Jingle All the Way. I had definitely seen them when I was a kid, but sort of watched them sort of for the first time, and yeah, I really liked it. To be fair, it was a good film, very loud, very obnoxious, very Jim Carrey, but it was a good little film. It's not one of my very favorite Christmas films, but it's definitely up there. Just watch Local Hero. Very lovely little film. Yes, well, Jack will be very pleased to hear that. That's one of his favorite films. And it is a good movie. It is a very good movie. To be completely honest is here. Hello, mate. My very good friend, Slayer Reviews. Hello, my dear friend. Hope you're well, man. Wishing you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hopefully we'll cross paths again in the new year. Great power comes great responsibility. Yes, no, happy Christmas to you as well, mate, and your family. And yes, we will do something again in the new year, live stream on someone's channel, without a doubt, or a little crossover or something. But I'll be certain to get you back on the channel at some point, mate. You're absolutely fantastic guest. It's cool having some of the previous guests here in the comments. You know, we've got Alex here as well. We've got Jack. So yeah, very, very cool. Winslow automatically the best person in the chat because he likes Local Hero. There we go. I can see all of the comments, by the way, that of Jack trying to defend here Alien Resurrection. UJ can't escape the rise of Skywalker, like Spider-Man Far From Home meme. Everywhere I go, I see his face. Yeah. It's one of those things, like, people tend to find this one movie that they hate, and it really just follows them around. Um, but yeah, The Rise of Skywalker has definitely stuck to me, hasn't it? But I don't mind it, you know, it's good. It's good. It's only a good little bit of fun in it. People just poking fun at it. Um, Rank the 3 Bad Boys film. Honestly, I can't. Surprisingly, the only one I've seen is the third one. I can't remember why that was the only one I saw, but I know the other two were directed by Michael Bay, and that really put me off watching them, to be honest, because I'm really not a Michael Bay fan, even though I currently am rewatching the Transformers franchise for some reason. But yeah, I'm not a Michael Bay fan at all. I'm trying to figure what other movies I've seen of his, to be honest, and it's not me. I'm Ambulance, saw that this year. I agree. Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars movie. It's a great pick. That, to be honest, for me, it's like any of the original three, or Revenge of the Sith, or Rogue One. They're the golden Star Wars films. For me. But you know, each to their own. Anyone says a sequel movie, we might disagree there. um. Well, I won't be watching Avatar 2. I just don't really care. Don't like the first. That's fair enough. You know, it's not going to be for everyone, these Avatar films. I was absolutely heartbroken to miss it on Friday, to be honest. And I've got more excited actually over the weekend to go see it tomorrow, because I've seen like, even though I'm not a huge fan of James Cameron as a person, I've watched a few interviews him talking about it and the cast talking about it, and it's got me a bit more excited to see it, to be honest. So I'm almost kind of glad I had another couple days, because I'm more excited now than I was like Thursday. So yeah. Um, Hi, what's your favorite trilogy? You know, I think technically the best trilogy I've ever seen is Lord of the Rings. You know, I just don't think anything comes close to that quality of filmmaking that I've ever seen, to be honest. Even when you look at, you know, because my personal favorite is the original Star Wars trilogy. I love those films. It's my favorite universe. That it created this whole universe, which has been expanded upon so much, which I absolutely love. But and you look at these other really popular trilogies like The Godfather, or I don't know, you know, The Planet of the Apes. You pick any of the other really highly acclaimed ones, but I still think Lord of the Rings stands towers above everything else. But you know, while I think that one's technically the best, my personal favorite is still going to be the original Star Wars. Have you seen Mickey's Christmas Carol? Watched it in December. I haven't. I've seen, of course, the Christmas Carol, the Jim Carrey one. I watched Scrooge recently with Bill Murray, and then I've seen the Muppets Christmas Carol, and you know, even the new film Spirited sort of does their own version of A Christmas Carol. So I've seen lots of versions, but I haven't seen Mickey's. Alien Resurrection plays a self-aware B movie. It's cheesy, dumb fun. I can't see what's not to like. The plot is dumb, and allows Weaver to play a very different version of Ripley. Honestly, I think the thing that I just dislike, I can give you many reasons as to why I don't like that movie. I think the story's dumb. I think the characters are terrible. I don't like what they've done with Ripley. A lot of the effects as well, not great. I like the aliens going in the water. You know, it's not a completely terrible movie. There is a couple things about it I like, but I'm sorry, Jack, you're not going to win me over. I do really, really dislike Alien Resurrection. Oh, and what do you not like about it? Well, there you go. I pretty much dislike everything but the alien water scene. That's kind of cool. Also, the alien that gets sucked out into space at the end was dreadful. I thought, like, Ripley full on kisses it at one point. 5 stars have to be saved for the special films. Not very many films are flawless. Yeah, I agree. I don't mind if, like, I'm going to give a film a 9.5 out of 10. Sometimes I'll bump that to a 5-star. But I agree. I feel like if I go giving 5s out to everything, then, you know, I know some people do that, so I don't want to shit on it. But it's like, you know, I like them films to feel really special. I really agree with that. What's your least favorite Bond song? Oh, probably the Sam Smith one, because I really don't like Sam Smith. I don't know. There might be an older one that I might dislike more, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. Yeah, I thought that Sam Smith one was bloody terrible, and it was the first one to hit #1. Can you believe it? I mean, there have been so many incredible Bond songs over the years, and the worst one hit number one first. um, how come you've never seen Avatar 2? Well, it's only been out 3 days. I'm seeing it tomorrow, so yeah, I'm not too far behind. I had something come up on Friday when I was meant to be seeing it, so unfortunately I couldn't make it. But yeah, I'll be seeing it tomorrow. And as I say, I'm kind of almost pleased in a way I waited a bit longer because I got more excited for it. So yeah, Clerks is a 5-star movie. I can't really comics. I haven't seen Clerks, but I'm gonna be honest. I got no interest in really seeing those movies. I remember when the third one was coming out earlier this year, and I saw trailers for it, and it's just like, this does not look like my sort of movie. So, and they haven't exactly got the best ratings. So, but as I say, each to their own. Um, I've given 53 films a 5-star. Oh, very nice. I'm not sure what I'm at. I think I'm at about 30, maybe. In fact, I can double check for you right now because you can do this very cool thing on Letterboxd where you just hover over your score and it will tell you. I've given 31. I wasn't too far off. 31. At this rate, Jack will like AVP Requiem. Okay, if Jack likes AVP Requiem, then that's when we're gonna have trouble. Because, like, Alien Resurrection's bad, but Requiem is unbelievably terrible. I hate that movie. That has no redeeming qualities about it, none. Because you could say, oh no, wait, the designs are cool with the alien predator thingy in it. It's like, well, you can't see it because they forgot to take the lens cap off the lens. The whole film is so dark, you can't see jack shit. um, my most common score on Letterboxd is 4 stars. Yeah, I'm pretty sure mine's a 3. Hang on, I did have it up. Yeah, see, look, I am pretty kind on Letterboxd. Look, it's not too bad. So, yeah, I'm not that harsh on Letterboxd. I'm not overly kind either, but I'm very middle of the road, I think. um, Alien Resurrection was also very well directed, in my opinion. Really nice cinematography and color grading, in my opinion. Oh, Jack, stop talking about a bloody movie. You're not going to convince anyone. Much better directed than Alien 3, in my opinion. Well, that film does have like many different cuts, so you might actually not be wrong there, but Alien 3 is still a better movie, in my opinion. Yeah. I think me and Alex can agree, however, that The Rise of Skywalker is a great film. Well, you're wrong. You're wrong. The first Bad Boys film is up there as maybe Bay's best film. Maybe I will check them out. I don't know. So I'm just really I'm going through these Transformers films in a minute. I've done the first 3, the ones with Shia LaBeouf, and there's some painful dialogue in those movies, like painful. I actually didn't like one's aged worse than I remembered. I actually didn't mind Dark of the Moon, but man, Revenge of the Fallen, my god, that was bad. But I don't know whether to bother with the Mark Wahlberg ones because I remember hating them. I might just go and watch Bumblebee and call it a day on the Transformers films. I'm not sure. Are you excited for Across the Spider-Verse? Absolutely. I love the first movie. So I'm pumped to see where they go in the next one. And the trailer was awesome. My favorite trilogy is Clerks. Oh, fair enough, fair enough. As I say, each to their own. I might watch them one day. I can't say they're high on my list though. I'm not a huge fan of that American comedy stuff. Occasionally one slips through that I really like Step Brothers, Anchorman, or The Hangover. But yeah, I don't know. It's not normally my thing. But as I say, occasionally want to slip through. So maybe one day I'll give them a go. Favorite and least favorite animated franchise? Ooh. I don't know. Well, franchise. I don't know how many films. You'd think I'd actually probably should know this. Don't know how many films need to be a part of something for it to be classed as a franchise. So for that, are we counting films that go straight to TV as well, like Lion King 2 and 3? I don't know. That's a really hard question. I'm gonna say I want to just look at films that are going straight to cinema. So like things like Lion King won't count. It's probably going to be Toy Story and How to Train Your Dragon is the best. Least favorite, probably Ice Age because I loved the first two, and the third one was okay, but then 4 and 5 were absolutely garbage. And I know we said we weren't gonna talk about the streaming ones, but, the Buck one as well was pretty awful. So yeah, maybe that or maybe Madagascar because I quite like the first one, but then 2 and 3 I thought were pretty terrible as well. So I don't know. Avatar 3 is coming out in less than 2 years. I hope they do something different. Avatar 2 was great, had a very similar story to the first one. Yeah, I've obviously stayed away from things because I haven't been able to see it yet. But I've seen a lot of complaints that a lot of the complaints people have with the first one kind of follow over here. Like, is a very repetitive story, and I've heard the characters are still quite bland in this one. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I'm just saying what I've heard online, and I hope I disagree with it. I hope I like it all a bit more. But I've heard visually it's a stunning movie. Oh god, I can see all these Rise of Skywalker comments. Guys, why are we talking about this movie so much? I would recommend Mickey's Christmas Carol. It's on Disney Plus, and it's about only half an hour. It's great 80s animation. I might actually give that a watch. You know, I like the old animation stuff. I wish that sometimes that Disney would go back to the 2D and treat the old school Disney fans every now and then. I know that the 3D animation pulls in more audiences and stuff, and it looks fantastic. But it'd be really nice to go back to a 2D animation film every now and then from Disney. But you know. I'll shut up about Alien Resurrection now. I liked it fine, but didn't love it at all. That's fair enough. Everyone should go watch your review of it though, because you know each their own, and you give your reasons, and you know we got to respect that, even if you're wrong. What is your favorite Pixar song? Oh, it's got to be a Randy Newman one from Toy Story, isn't there? I always liked Strange Things Are Happening to Me. I thought that was always a pretty good one. But you know what I love? I love that French song from Ratatouille. Ba-da-da-da-ra-ba, ba-da-da-da-da. I can't name you the song because it's in French, but I love that one. It's actually on my musical playlist. I've got like one of my Spotify like songs like from La La Land, Great Showman, all the Hamilton, blah blah blah, and the Ratatouille French song made it because I do like it. Will you be doing more bad movie reviews in the future? I love that series. Thank you. Yes, I really made a mistake. I should have made Halloween Ends a bad movie review. Because I truly hated that film. Literally, the day after I uploaded the video, I was like, "Oh, damn! I should have made that a bad movie review." But no, I will get back to that next year. There's a couple movies on the list. I know that we said we're going to stop talking about it, but Alien Resurrection could be one of them. Actually, there's a few films in that Alien Resurrection or Alien and Predator series which could go in there, to be honest. But anyway, there will be more of those at some point. Definitely, it's when I can get a solid day where I've got nothing on because they take a little bit more time to edit. That's normally when I can make those videos. Everything everywhere all at once is the only 10 out of 10 I've given out this year. It's been a great year for film overall though. Yeah, I completely agree, but I've given two 10 out of 10s this year. That and the Batman for me are I honestly wouldn't change a thing about either of them. But yeah, it has been a really good year of films. Like my top 10 this year will come above my number one spot from last year. So like my top 10 this year, I've loved every movie, to be honest. So yeah, it has been a very good year. And next year's looking amazing as well. There's a lot of great directors bringing out movies. And I feel like the blockbusters next year are a bit more interesting as well, because it's like, I know you got Spider-Verse, but then you got things like indie there as well, where it's like, oh, it's not just superhero. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I think the most underrated James Bond song is From Russia with Love. Yeah, I don't mind that one. Yeah, I quite like that one. My favorite is still You Know My Name from Casino Royale. Would you rather James Cameron focus on future Avatar sequels or original projects? It'd be nice for him to do. He's doing it. I'm pleased he's doing the third one. He does his trilogy. I personally would rather him then go do something else. But obviously maybe stay producer. Obviously keep writing for these films because it's his world. But I would like to see him do something else because I've said this before, and someone tried to correct me. I said, "Oh, it's been like all James Cameron's done for 20 years is Avatar films." No, it hasn't. It's like, oh, I looked it up and it was like, oh, sorry, 18 years. That's literally all he's done. He's produced a couple other things, yeah, but I would like to see him go on and direct another original movie. I think that would be a bit more interesting at this point. Don't get me wrong. I like the first Avatar. I think it's fine. I put my Letterboxd review up of it last week when I rewatched it, and I'm sure I'm going to like the new one. But yeah, it is a bit of a shame that such a great director has been tied down to one franchise for this long. But anyway, to be fair, James, the first Clerks is brilliant. Fair enough. As I say, maybe I'll watch them. I don't know. I've still got to see Everything Everywhere All at Once. Might watch it after the stream. Yeah, well, it is on Prime, I believe. I've watched it twice, which is weird because it's my favorite film of the year. I've watched it twice, but the Batman, which is second, I've watched like 8 times. It's ridiculous. But yeah, no, I kind of want to rewatch that one again before the year's up. So I've got 2 weeks or whatever to do it. So maybe between Christmas and New Year's because I gotta get all my Christmas films in. I want to still try and watch, say, Home Alone, It's a Wonderful Life, and A Christmas Carol. They're the Muppets Christmas Carol. Sorry, they're the 3 films I want to get in for the year's up. Because I watched Love Actually twice this year already, like in the last 2 weeks, which is kind of bad. But anyway, it's not bad. It's a great movie. How many films did you see in cinema this year? I've only done 22, and yet 23 for Wednesday. I've seen a fair few. I reckon I've seen a good 50 films in cinema this year. I keep all my cinema tickets. I've got a little book down there with them all in. Pardon me, sorry. Yeah, but I've seen quite a few. I'm trying to think what my favorites were. Not films, but experiences. I think seeing the Batman for the first time was great. One of my more recent ones, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, was absolutely fantastic on the big screen. Seeing it on the super screen in Leicester Square. Yeah, we've had some Minions: The Rise of Gru. Not a great film, but that was an experience on the big screen. I'd like AVP2 if I could fucking tell what was going on. Yeah, that's fair enough. I can't lie. I still don't think I'd like it. But yeah, if you could see what was happening, that's always a positive, isn't it? Favorite movie and or TV genre? Okay. Well, I'd say my favorite genre is kind of thrillers. But I like every genre really. My least favorite is probably comedy at the minute. But yeah, I don't know. I like my thrillers, mysteries. Do like a good sci-fi every now and then as well, of course. Yeah, what can I say? I like most genres, to be fair. I like them all, really. Apocalypse, I agree with you. The Rise of Skywalker is quite good. I saw it in cinema. Good. Sorry, James. Ha ha ha. Well, the movie fucking sucks. I'm joking. Rise of Skywalker is a fantastic Star Wars film, but a bad final Star Wars film. It's not a fantastic Star Wars film. It shits on all the original characters and it shits on the Star Wars lore. Sorry, I can't get into it. I can't do it again. If I buy you the Clerks DVD trilogy, will you watch them? I will probably have to. I watch all of my subscriber mail, as people know. So yeah. Anyway, where do we go to? Rise of Skywalker won't be the final Star Wars film forever. Might take a while, but there will be an episode 10 one day. Yeah, there will be. If I'd like the sequel to I can't speak trilogy, I might agree and be like, yeah, we'll get an episode 10 one day, and I'll be quite excited for it. I really don't know how I feel right now about seeing what comes after. I'm more excited to go back in time with Star Wars, myself. But I mean, we're getting some High Republic stuff. So yeah. Sorry, just had to take another comment off there. We don't have no name calling on these streams. But anyway, if you want to leave an actual comment, that's fine. Uh, yeah, I'm more excited to go back to the Old Republic stuff and bits like that. Another New Hope. Oh well, we had another New Hope, didn't we? That was pretty much Force Awakens. Let's go. But thanks for a great Christmas stream. Thank you, my friend, and hopefully see you at the next one. And again, anyone who does leave, happy Christmas to you all. um, Would you be mad if I said I hated everything everywhere all at once, but gave Jurassic World Dominion a 3.5 out of 5? Well, that doesn't make sense in my head. No, fair. As we say, it's each to their own, and that's the way we gotta, we gotta respect everyone's opinions, of course, even if they are crazy. I watched Home Alone earlier. Might watch the second tonight. Shockingly, haven't ever seen it. Home Alone 2 is pretty good. Is it called Escape from New York or something like that? Escape to New York. Home Alone 2 is pretty good. It's in my top 10 Christmas films. 3 is watchable. 4 is bad. I haven't seen the 5th one, and then Home Sweet Home Alone that was unwatchable. That was terrible. But yeah, 2's good, and 3, as I say, 3 is watchable. I think you might be okay with 3. It's a real switch off movie, but it's not, as I said, it's not terrible. Jack says here, Home Alone 2 is fun, but it's just the first film again. Yeah, but it has the charm and everything. It does a really good job at recapturing it, I think. Home Alone 3, I think, is surprisingly good. Yeah. I don't know if I'd say it's good, but it's okay for me. Home Alone 3. It's perfectly watchable. So yeah, I think you'll be fine. I think you'll be fine with 3, Alex, as well. Maybe one of Scarlett Johansson's first movies as well. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna skip over that one, Alex. But hey, it's all fun. You put a funny emoji at the end. You should do an Elvis bad movie review. Absolutely not, because Elvis is a really good movie. They were playing it on my cruise that I went on in the summer. No, I didn't even go in the summer. I went in October. They had a huge screen up the top, and they had 2 movie nights there, and one of them it was Elvis. So my parents were sort of tempted to sit up there and watch it. I think because they like Elvis. I'm pretty sure they like Moulin Rouge as well. So same director. But we didn't. Went downstairs to the bar and got drunk instead. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for coming by. Home Alone 1 through 3 are good, but after that, stay away. Yeah, I do you know what? It's funny because I've done the pro thing on Letterboxd now. It shows me like lists I've nearly completed, and Home Alone's right near the top. And it's because I haven't watched the 5th one. There's a little bit inside of me that's like, oh, you should watch the 5th one just so you could say you've watched them all, but I really don't want to do it because it looks awful and I've heard it's awful. I gave Jurassic World Dominion a 4 out of 5, so even more controversial. Yeah, do you know, it's one of those films. There's off the top of my head, I can think of 3 films that I walked out of just gutted with how bad they were because they should have been good. Obviously, The Rise of Skywalker is one of them. The first Justice League, and Jurassic World Dominion was another one. Like the 3 things that are part of my 3 of my favorite universes. It's like, oh my god, the finale of Star Wars. Oh my god, the first time I've seen the Justice League come together. Oh my god, the finale to Jurassic Park. And yeah, unfortunately, all of those things there, I didn't like. I think Marvel will have a better year next year. Not as many Disney Plus shows, and Guardians 3 and Ant-Man 3 look amazing. Yeah, I don't know if I'd say Ant-Man 3 looks amazing. It looks good, but yeah, Guardians 3 does look class. I'm really looking. Guardians 3 really wasn't on my radar much until that trailer dropped, but then it shot up. Ant-Man 3 looks good. I just don't know how much I trust Peyton Reed. I'm going in a bit skeptical on that one. I think it'll be good, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it'll be great. We'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping it isn't just build up because I've got a feeling it might be. It's like, here's a build up to Kang, and it's like, no, have Kang in it, yeah, but let's have a actual movie here. Is there any film that you own more than one copy of? There is. It's actually funny enough some of my Disney films because I've got them in the collectible slip range here, but then I have a couple of the 4Ks down there. So, and Parasites because did originally have the Criterion coming from my very good friend in America as a birthday present, and it didn't turn up. So I bought the Bong Joon-ho box set, which has got 2 copies of Parasite in, because it has the black and white one. And then after about 7 months of waiting, the Criterion Parasite finally turned up. So I have 3 copies of that movie. Did you own any of the Doctor Who toys and figures as a kid? I had most of the sonic screwdrivers. I had loads. I've still got some in my loft, to be honest. The ones that come in all of the, the David Tennant era stuff in the TARDIS packagings, like the bright red. I think it was like green for season 3 and then purple for season 4. I used to have loads. I didn't have many sonic screwdrivers. I actually have 2 in my room right now in my drawer. I cosplayed Peter Capaldi once as a joke. I say I did it. I bought the costume, and then for a fancy dress party, and then like a week before there was a theme introduced, and it was like, well, I can't go as this now because it was like 80s. It's like Capaldi stuck to 80s doesn't really work. So I have Capaldi screwdriver, and then my mates bought me as a joke Jodie Whittaker's. So yeah, the 2 best sonic screwdrivers being David's and Matt's. I have the 2 weaker ones of the modern era. I agree, Alex. Next year is looking a good year for Marvel. Too much content this year. It became over quality over quantity. Yeah, I agree. Marvel. They started strong and they ended strong. I thought Moon Knight was good, and I thought Werewolf by Night and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever were good. But the whole middle of the year for Marvel was a little bit of a disaster, to be honest. I didn't mind Thor when I first saw it, but I've really come to see how messy that film is. And Miss Marvel and She-Hulk, not good. And the Guardians Christmas special was good as well. Day Tripper, hello mate, thank you so much. Today I watched Elf and Nativity 2 in college today, and tomorrow is Nightmare Before Christmas. Well, Elf's great. I think Nativity 2 is not very good myself. But The Nightmare Before Christmas is a really good film. I really like the film. I watched it last weekend for the first time. Yeah. What is recently the new Blu-ray? I haven't really bought any for a good 2 weeks, to be honest. I don't know. I do want to pick up House of Dragon on Blu-ray, but I need to have I've been trying to look at unboxings today. I can't find it. I wanted to know if the 4K comes to the Digipack or if the Blu-ray did. I was going to pick there. So I will be picking House of Dragon up soon. But other than that, I picked up. I actually did finally add 2 more premiums to the collection, which I'll show you. I watched this one, Gettysburg, which is now the longest film I've ever seen at 250 something minutes. And it really didn't need to be that long. It was kind of a bore. It wasn't a bad film, but it wasn't great. And then with it, I bought the Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is the original from 1939. So yeah, really excited to see this. I might try and watch that one this week. I want to try and get all my Christmassy films out of the way before it's too late. And I also did get, but I had a bit of bother with this one. I got the Frankenstein set, but I don't know if you can see there was a horrible sticker. Like when I say horrible, it was a HMV one. It wasn't from CEX, surprisingly. But this sticker, man, I put White Spirit on it. I really tried my best to get it up, but it's it doesn't look terrible, but yeah, I'm not super happy with it. And one thing I do take quite a bit of pride in with my collection is how good a condition my collection is in. So I don't really like getting stuff that isn't in great condition. I was seeing the Blu-ray chat that Ryan's saying he's disappointed there isn't a Christmas tree in my stream. Well, you can dress up as one, Ryan, if you're watching. You can come sit in the stream next time. Thank God I'm not the only one who keeps their cinema tickets for the memory. Yeah, it's fun. I've got a little book, and actually, speaking of my friend Ryan, I think he done it first, and I copied him, which he'll say great pride. I'm ignoring the chat now, guys. Yeah, he'll take great pride in saying, "Oh, he copied me," but I did, to be fair. But yeah, I'm nearly filled it up now. I've only got like 2 pages left. There's got to be 100+ tickets in there. Can you show us the book with your cinema tickets? Hang on, let me see if it's down here in its cubby hole. If it is, because it's... Oh, it is. This is my little cinema ticket book. You can see it's quite full. There it is. Yeah, in here I've kept this little pamphlet in here because I find this quite funny. I got this before COVID, and I always still quite like going back to it actually because it has all the dates of when movies were going to come out, and it's like, where is it? It's down here. Yeah, July 2020. Look, Top Gun Maverick, July 2020. That worked out. So I've kept that because I find it funny. But yeah, it's just completely full up. Loads of tickets in there. Very first one is The Force Awakens, and the last one in here at the minute is Knives Out. I do have Matilda somewhere, which might be on my shelf. I need to put that one in. Yeah, I can see it. It's up on my shelf. So yeah, I do have Matilda to go in here. Tomorrow we'll have Avatar, so there'll be 2 more going in here soon. But so I literally have that left. I've got a C-3PO card in there that my mate gave me on a night out. But yeah, that's all I've got left, and then this book is finished. So yeah, very much need to get another one soon. But yeah, there's the cinema book. No, I can see everyone from the chats coming over. Hello, Alex. Hello, Ryan. It's crazy to think that next year we get films from Martin Scorsese, Christopher Nolan, David Fincher, Taika Waititi, Wes Anderson, and then a ton of exciting blockbusters. Yeah, Wes Anderson's doing 2 next year, isn't he? I think. Which is very exciting. I'm doing my little Wes Anderson rewatch at the minute. Normally do that once every 2 years or so. Other than things like Grand Budapest and Life Aquatic and Fantastic Mr. Fox, they get watched twice a year or so because I love those movies. But yeah, I want to see Ryan says he's about to watch that new Netflix war film, All Quiet on the Western Front. That's an amazing film, by the way. Everyone should go watch that. But yeah, no, I'm doing my Wes Anderson rewatch at a minute, and I actually had a lot more fun with Bottle Rocket than I remembered. But Rushmore wasn't as good as I remembered. So I'm really looking forward to watching the Royal Tenenbaums because I remember loving that movie. So yeah, and it's great that they're all on Disney Plus. If you haven't checked out Wes Anderson's movies, they're all on Disney Plus. Go watch them. I'm gonna head off now, James. Watch everything everywhere at once. Thank you for coming by, Jack. Much love to you, mate. Have a good Christmas. Why doesn't everyone just shut up about the Rise of Skywalker for 5 seconds? Someone I can relate to. I would be interested to see George Lucas do another Star Wars film. He wouldn't do it now, unfortunately. Look, there's a load of things I love about what Disney had done with Star Wars. There's far more good than bad. But those sequels, I can imagine George does not like. And they really don't seem to fit in with the universe he created, which I know is going to upset some people, but that's honestly how I feel being a Star Wars fan for as long as I have been. One day, I want to say an opinion so bizarre that I get blocked. Well, that's an interesting motive. That's all I'll say about that. Since your favourite movie is Star Wars Episode 4 and 5, what is your least favourite movie? Is it Transformers The Last Night or Rise of Skywalker? Do you know what? Funny enough, I was talking to my colleague at work about this because I said to him, I'm rewatching the Transformers films in a minute. And he said, oh, right. He said he's seen them all but The Last Night. And he said, is it as bad as people say? And I said this to him. I said, honestly, I think it is my least favourite film ever. So while Rise of Skywalker annoyed me more, it's purely because of my love for Star Wars, whereas I don't have that love for Transformers. The Last Night is a worse movie. And I think The Last Night, Transformers, is the worst movie I've ever seen, if I'm being honest. Letterboxd Pro is easily worth it. So many cool stats for £14 a year. I completely agree. At first, I was annoyed at myself for buying it. I was like, I've just spent money so I can see stats. But I get kind of obsessed over it. I love it. I love looking through like the actors who I've seen the most films from and stuff. I don't know about going to the next stage. Letterboxd is like £50 a year, isn't it? But I swear all you can do is just add a picture in the background of your reviews and change movie posters. And I don't like that changing movie posters idea on there. Because I just get confused. Like someone's changed the poster. I'm like, what? Oh, that's the Batman. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'm not a huge fan on that addition to Letterboxd. I don't think I'd change the movie posters if I had that. When you see a film in cinema and you think it's bad, then why buy it? Well, in fairness, I don't normally. The only time I have is if it's like Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, because I own every Star Wars film. Or Marvel, because I have every Marvel film. I can't remember last time. I did get Jurassic World Dominion, but that's only because I wanted all of them in 4K. I bought the box set so I could have them all. I wouldn't go out my way and buy, like, I don't know, what have I seen this year that I thought was bad? I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head. I'm having a mind blank here. Like, I don't know, Moonfall or, something like that. I wouldn't buy that because if it was bad. What quotes from films or TV do you quote regularly all the time? Honestly, 90% of the time it is just prequel memes. Don't forget that you own 5 copies of The Rise of Skywalker. I do own 2 because I have the 3D somewhere. I don't know. It's under my bed somewhere. And I do actually own 2 of The Rise of Skywalker. I own 2 of all the Star Wars films then, to be fair, because I had them on Blu-ray and Blu-ray 3D for the Disney ones, and I upgraded to the 4K. But they're all gone. They're all tucked away now somewhere, so I don't really count them. In the room, so it's just a few Disney ones. And Parasite. As much as I didn't like Miss Marvel, I'm kind of excited to see her on the big screen next year. Yeah, that's the thing with Miss Marvel. I didn't like the show, but I thought that the character and the actress playing her were really good. It's the same with She-Hulk. I really didn't like She-Hulk, but I thought the actress did a good job. And I am excited to see her interact with more Marvel characters. As long as she just doesn't jump out the screen again like she did in the finale. And just go, yep, I'm just going to fix everything like that. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see her interact with Captain Marvel and stuff. The actress seems great. So, if there's any Disney film you could be in, what would it be? Well, I'm gonna have to pick Star Wars. I don't care what one I'm in. Well, actually, I do. Don't put me in the Rise of Skywalker, but stick me in anything else, like Book of Boba Fett. I don't care as long as I'm in something Star Wars related. That would be awesome. Hello, Alex. Ryan. I used to keep my cinema tickets too, but stopped ages ago. I just scanned the code to get in now. Oh, that's fair enough. I do the little number thing in and it prints them. That same book as mine. Yeah, you copied me, Ryan. Movie Bug. What's your favorite Christmas movie of all time? I see I'm actually catching up with the comments slightly here, and we've still got 40 minutes to go. So if you want, keep spamming me with questions, guys, if you want to. I don't mind. Say when I haven't got a guest, I do tend to go through these quicker because there aren't pauses where I stop and have like a random chat. So we will get through them all probably today. My favorite Christmas movie of all time is Home Alone, but I want to give big shout outs to Love Actually and It's a Wonderful Life, which coming right behind it. My 3 favorites for sure. And then here's Ryan talking about All Quiet on the Western Front. I actually do want to watch the original movie of that. I've heard it's really good. Won Best Picture, of course, back in was it the 30s or the 20s? I can't remember. I'm not too sure off the top of my head anymore. It's 2.5 hours. It is a long one, but it honestly is really good. It'll go really quick, mate. Don't forget, we got a 3-hour film tomorrow. Bring an energy drink to keep you up. I know I will be. Are you gonna rank the best Blu-ray releases of 2022? No. I don't really buy near as much as I once did, to be honest. I reckon I've only unboxed 10 to 15 films this year, maybe. Maybe not even that. I don't know. I haven't unboxed loads of new movie releases, to be honest. But if I did, most of them be like things like the Arrow video box sets because they're always the nicest packaging and stuff. I don't think I'll make it to the end. Well, 8 o'clock. No, to be fair, I'll probably be asleep by 10 o'clock tonight. Although I do want to finish a film I started last night. I started the third Sartana movie, and my God, I quite like the first two Sartana films. They really impressed, especially the first one, really impressed me. But this third one has now gone beyond cheesy. It's ridiculous. There's a bit where he's like, it's a cowboy film. And he's like halfway across the courtyard and he shoots some guy, and then for some reason between his toes he's got matches, and he shoots one of the matches, walks up to it. You just see his head come down in frame. He's got a fag, and he just lights it. It reminded me a bit of that Hugh Jackman scene in The Last Stand, where there's the dead robot on fire, and he walks up to it with a cigar and just goes, catch it on fire, lights it. Yeah. Maybe Moonrise Kingdom will go up on your ranking. Still my favorite of his, but I know it's not one of yours. I do love that movie, to be fair. I mean, it's gone up a place already because I've now put Rushmore below it. I do really like Moonrise Kingdom. It's a really good film. There's that scene that kills me in it every time, where it's I think it's the girl. She's sitting on the stairs all depressed, and Bill Murray just walks down without a shirt on, with his dad bod out, and he's got an axe on his shoulder. He just looks at her, goes, he's like, just gonna go cut down a tree. It's like in the middle of the night, and it just kills me. It's just so random. That's the charm of Wes Anderson, scenes like that. But yeah, no, I do really like. That's the thing. I look at my Wes Anderson ranking. No film is below a 3.5 star. I think Moonrise is a 4, even though it's that low. And then you look at their ratings on Letterboxd for all these films, and they're all really high scores. So you're just comparing great movies with great movies on there, really. Although The Isle of Dogs is still my least favorite, which is still very surprising to me. Every time I rewatch it, because I've watched that film about 3 times now. Oh, pardon me, sorry. I really want to like that movie more. Because I love Fantastic Mr. Fox, I love Wes Anderson, so many great voice acts in it. I love stop motion, but something about The Isle of Dogs just doesn't click with me. It's the only one. Forgive me for saying this. I actually liked Ice Age 1 through 5 because I grew up with them a lot. But the Buck one was awful. I mean, I grew up I had the first one on VHS, and I remember going to see the second one in cinema. Yeah, the first two Ice Ages are great, and the third one's pretty good. 4 is okay. I'm sorry, but I hated the 5th one. I really didn't like the 5th one. What is your criteria for owning or not owning a Blu-ray movie in your collection? To be honest, as long as the cover just isn't ripped or damaged, you go and CX a lot, and you pull out a film and be like, oh yeah, look at this, look, free guy, and you pull it out and there'll be like a tear here, and it's like, no, not gonna buy that. Or you get all those sticky covers and stuff where it looks like someone's thrown up on it or something. And normally I don't, if I can't get the stickers off very well, I tend not to really pick them up. Unfortunately, the reason I sort of accepted this one, which I showed about a half hour ago, this Frankenstein one with this horrible sticker mark, is just because getting these with slips is really hard. So I was like, do you know what? I'm going to take it, see if I can get the sticker off, even though the guy said it's been on there for many years. And sure enough, it was difficult to get off. But this is really hard to get with slips. So I was willing to put up with it. But if I get the opportunity to upgrade it, I will. So yeah, but I'm only missing one of the Universal Monster editions now. I'm Dracula, so I'm hoping to get that soon. Are you still planning to get the Halloween trilogy box set despite Halloween Ends being terrible? I was, but there's no 4K pre-order, is there? It's only Blu-ray, so I might not, to be honest. Who's the most overrated singer? Mine is James Blunt. I don't mind James Blunt. I like that, Three wise men, they I don't mind that song. I don't really know who my most overrated singer is. Oh god, I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's anyone I really Taylor Swift. I don't like Taylor Swift at all. Yeah, no, I don't like Taylor Swift. I'm sorry. I hate her new album. God, the description of it just made my head hurt. It's like, these are about 13 sleepless nights throughout Taylor's life. It's like, oh my god, she's so dramatic. Look at her, poor thing. She's been through loads. Yeah, I'm really not a fan of her. The She-Hulk final was literally the writers admitting they had no idea how to win the show. As I say, I said this in my review, I think, for She-Hulk. First episode was okay, and the Daredevil one was quite good. The rest of it was just straight up terrible, and I'll stand by that. Um, it's a shame. I think it is technically the worst thing Marvel have put out, but I've put it second from bottom in my ranking purely for that Daredevil episode because I had a really good time with that one episode. But yeah, it's pretty awful. I recommend the show called Orphan Black if you thought the actress in She-Hulk was good. She plays 5 or 6 clones of herself. Really impressive. Shame it's not really talked about much. I have heard of it, to be fair, and I have heard it's good. It is on my list. Just got so many things to watch at the minute. I know the new season of His Dark Materials just come out, and I need to watch that as well. I don't know when I'm going to find the time for that. I think that'll be my show next week when I'm off work that I binge. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Have you ever seen Arthur Christmas? It's my favorite Christmas movie. I haven't, but I know of it. I feel bad for giving It's a Wonderful Life only an 8 out of 10, even though that's still a great score. Yeah, I think I gave it an 8.5 or a 9. I haven't reviewed it on Letterboxd. I will. I'm going to rewatch it probably Saturday, as I say. So yeah, you'll see me give that a new score over the weekend probably. I'm really looking forward to rewatching it actually because I've only seen it the once and I did really enjoy it. All Quiet on the Western Front came out in 1930. I knew it 30s or 20s. I was, there we go. I'm going to say I was sort of right there. Great film. Yeah, I do want to watch it. Yeah, I mean, after seeing the new one, I'm all over watching that. I say we are getting very close to catching up with the comments, guys. So yeah, if you do want to leave any more questions, then please do. If not, we might wrap up a bit early tonight, but we'll see. We'll see how many more questions we get coming. The oldest film you've seen, according to your Letterboxd, it is The Kid by Charlie Chaplin, which is a great film, by the way. It's a really, really fantastic film. Yeah, I think the oldest 4 films I've seen are all Charlie Chaplin films from the 1920s, and then it goes to either like King Kong or Dracula, the originals, and there's some Laurel and Hardy there as well. And then there's a couple other odds and sods ones there as well. But yeah, I definitely prefer my older films nowadays. I think like more 60s, 70s, and 80s. I'd say that's my favorite period of time for movies. Although I will say this, I don't like it when people put modern films down when they're like, "Oh, films today suck." It's like I think the blockbusters have lost some charm to them nowadays a bit, but I think you still get great films. You just have to look for them a bit more today, which is what the general audience don't really do much. They're not going to go see films like Everything Everywhere or Banshees because most cinemas are just showing Thor: Love and Thunder all the time. I don't know, I'm just using that as an example. Hello. How'd you say that? Nanette's Entertainment Hideout. Oh no, wait, Nanette's Necessities Entertainment Hideout. Sorry if I've pronounced that wrong, but hello, mate. Hi, it's such a cool tune from James Blunt. I don't know if I know that one, to be honest. I don't know many James Blunt songs, to be honest, but I do like the Three Wise Men song. I say the Three Wise Men song. Is that what it's called? I think it might actually just be Three Wise Men. But yeah, I don't mind that song. Sorry to the person back there who said they didn't like James Blunt. What movie do you hate the most? What movie do you hate the most is Christmas that you have seen? Well, I'm guessing what Christmas movie do I dislike the most? It probably would be Home Sweet Home Alone, which came out last year. That movie was absolute garbage, which is a shame because the kid actor in it, he was good in that Jojo Rabbit, and it had Erin from The Office in it, an actress who I quite like, and all they had to do was just do a Home Alone movie. It's never going to recapture the original. They just, but they just, it was just so bad. Like the burglars were just constantly apologizing. Like, oh no, sorry, we just need to get into your house just to get this. It was like, no, be evil burglars. Like in the first one, you've got Marv going, I'm gonna kill him. And then in this one, it's like, oh no, sorry. It's like, and in between us, sorry. So yeah, they completely fluffed the new one. It was awful. How would you rank the Shrek films? 2, 1, 4, Puss in Boots movie, 3. I haven't seen the new Puss in Boots movie yet, but I've heard it's actually quite good. So yeah, and the animation looks great for it. When are they doing another Shrek film? I heard rumors it was going to be a reboot at one point, which I really don't want them to do. Just do a fifth one. And I really don't know what's happening. Like must be such a big money earner for them. It seems weird to me that they've taken a step back from making those movies. And I know 3 was a bit wobbly, but 1 and 2 are great, and I think 4's pretty solid as well. When's your top 10 of films of the year coming out? Well, Avatar, got to see that first. I really don't think that's going to be in there, but just in case. And I also want to try and watch Bones and All before. But it'll be between Christmas and New Year's because I just want to have my week off and I can sit down and have a good go at editing that and my other ones. I can't lie, I'm not almost. I am dreading filming in a way. My video where I rank every film I've seen this year because I'm up to 140. That's going to be a lot of bloody editing. I think that's going to be a 2-day of that one. So yeah, I might even split the video into 2. Might try and make it a bit more exciting. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting video. Do you think The Inbetweeners is funny? Yeah, I was in secondary school right when the show was airing, so it's kind of stapled into my mind. The movies, I think the first one's good. I think the second one, while unnecessary, it's decent, but the show's great. Yeah. What Blu-ray releases do you really want but can't get? For me, it's the Infernal Affair trilogy on Criterion. Oh, well, I really want to get Dracula, the Universal Monsters, with a slip. Probably that. I wouldn't say there's any I'm sort of really after other than that at the minute. I wished I'd picked up that Highlander box set, the 4K one, that was like £35-40, but that's gone out of print really quick and I've missed it. So maybe that as well. I'm hoping to restart my movie YouTube channel sometime next year. I've been missing it a lot. Yeah, good, Alex. We've all been waiting. We've all been waiting. We're pushing for it when you were a guest here. By the way, did you know that The Departed is a remake of Infernal Affair trilogy? Did not know that. Did not know that. You learn something new every day. Where is the 4K for The Departed? By the way, that film needs a nice 4K upgrade. You definitely said it right. Is that sarcasm? I know it's 2022, but I still own and use VHS tapes. Hey, I'm still using records. That's how I listen to my music most of the time at home. So hey, there's nothing wrong with VHS. I use it a lot back in the early days as a kid. Yeah, we got some VHS in my loft still, and in my garage. We got I think I've said this a few times. We had a fair share of films. We had the episode 1 and episode 2, Star Wars. We had the first 2 Harry Potters as well. Funny enough, the first 2 for both those franchises. And then what else did we have? We had a few Disney ones like Lion King, Aladdin, Jungle Book, Peter Pan. What else did we have? I can't remember. I think I might have said one earlier. But yeah, we had a few VHSs. Some what do you call it? Thunderbirds. We used to love Thunderbirds as a kid, so we had a few Thunderbirds VHSs. Is your Blu-ray collection going to be your first video of 2023? I'm doing the same. It won't be my first, no. I normally like to give it a month or so, because I do so many videos near the end of the year, like rounding up my movies. I'll do my top 10 best films of the year, my top 10 worst films of the year, ranking every movie I've seen of the year, and then top 10 most anticipated films of next year. There's 4 big videos there, so I'll give it a little bit of a break. But I'm going to do my top 10 worst films a little bit different this year because a lot of films in my top 10 worst are like films that people probably wouldn't have even heard of. They go straight to DVD or something. So I'm going to try and just say I'm just doing the blockbusters. So the top 10 worst films this year won't be like, oh, here's the big gold Button or whatever it was called. There was some film of Oscar Isaac in where he appears for like 5 minutes called The Big Gold something. It was terrible. No one's heard of that. People, but you might see something like Jurassic World Dominion pop up on there. Sorry for the fans of it. Whereas realistically, it's not technically in my top 10 worst, but it's if I was to look at films people actually care about, then yeah, it is in the top 10. So I'm gonna do the worst ones a bit differently this year. Whereas the top 10 best, most people have heard of because they get really good reviews and stuff, and people pay attention. So yeah. Least favorite movie sequel. Oh, that's a hard one to do off the top of my head, because if I could really think about it, I could find you some good ones. See, I could say something like Transformers, but then the first one weren't amazing, to be fair. I don't know. Madagascar come up earlier. I do quite like the first one, and the second one's garbage. That's not a bad shout. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know off the top of my head. That's one I'd really have to think about. I'm looking at my superhero films, see if I'm missing anything. Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure about that one off the top of my head. Favorite movie from the year you were born? For me, Ice Age 2. Let me have a look again now because of the all-time the pro thing on Letterboxd. I can go to 1997. It's loading. So here's all the films I've seen from 1997, and I would say my favorite film is, oh my god, Home Alone 3. Oh, Alien Resurrection. I would say it is probably Boogie Nights. But you also had Princess Mononoke, which was fantastic. Jackie Brown, I think a lot of people might say it's up there for me. Good Will Hunting, Titanic, Starship Troopers, the first one, Scream 2, another good one. Hercules, Jurassic World, The Lost World, the first Austin Powers. But yeah, for me, I'm going to go Boogie Nights, which actually was sent to me by Mr. Alex, if he's still here. He is still here. Yeah, Boogie Nights is my favourite film from the year I was born. You can still get the Highlander box set on Zavi. I got it last week. Oh, fair enough. Maybe I might get it. I will be getting paid at some point this week, so maybe might treat myself if I have any of that money left after all my bills go out. No, I'm always happy when people say my name right. Most people don't know how to say Nanette. Oh, fair enough. Well, hey, I'm pleased I got it right. Have you ever watched The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Yeah, I used to watch that quite a bit growing up, actually. Yeah, I never sat down and watched it from start to finish though. Like I just used to catch episodes all the time when they were on telly, so I got no idea like what order things happening with that show. Do you watch The Big Bang Theory? No, that's never really hit a good chord with me. It's one of those like it falls into that American comedy style, which just doesn't really suit me most of the time. I know a lot of people that shy they didn't like the new that Saw said. I'm guessing maybe they said they didn't like the new Jurassic World movie. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm one of them. I really wanted to like it. I did really want to like it. Because the first Jurassic Park is in my top 5 films ever. I love it. I really like 2, The Lost World. I think 3 is pretty good as well. I know that might be unpopular, but I grew up with it, so I'm a little bit biased. I think Jurassic World, the first one's great. And I think Fallen Kingdom, it has, and that one's not great. But I was hoping they could end strong, at least. And unfortunately, I didn't. So, what's your favorite Legacy sequel? Oh, do you mean Legacy? So, do you mean like all these kind of older films which are coming back? Because in that case, I think I will agree with Blade Runner 2049. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other ones. Top Gun's got to be up there, though, isn't it? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's Top Gun. I don't know. I think Blade Runner's technically the best one. I think it'd be hard to top that one. But yeah, I'm not too sure off the top of my head. I think I'd agree with Blade Runner at the minute. My favorite year from the film I was born is Scream. Right, you were born 96, Alex, weren't you? You a year before me, I think. It says that we're going to get a sequel to the Lego Batman movie. That won't be happening actually because they sold the rights. They lost the rights to make those Lego movies. Which is why was it the Lego Movie 2 was the last one? It was either that or Ninjago, weren't it? Yeah. So unfortunately, you won't be getting any more of those, which is a shame because I actually did like the Lego Batman movie. I would have liked a sequel to that, and I also really liked the first Lego movie was really good. But you're right, it's so good. That's a 5-star film in my opinion. That's fair. I've given it 4.5 on Letterboxd, but it's it's up there. Really good film. That film really caught me off guard actually. I wasn't really sure how much I'd like that one, but yeah. I need to watch one more. You sent me another film of his. Was it began with an M? No, not Memento, that's Nolan. Magnolia? Is it Magnolia? I need to watch that one still. What is your favorite decade for movies? I'm just gonna say 60s, 70s, and 80s. I really can't pick, but it's there. It's there. It's one of the that's my favorite period for movies. I can't pick an exact decade. I always say my favorite decade is the 80s, but Letterboxd says my highest rated decade is the 70s and 90s. Yeah, mine's the 50s and 60s on according to Letterboxd, I think. Um, I think it's just because I watched a lot of I don't know. Because I notice everything I sort of rate in the 40s is always really high. But I think a lot of these kind of Universal Monster sequels have really brought the overall rating down because a lot of them get quite low scores. Mad Max Fury Road is another great legacy sequel. See, now I'm thinking I'm going to say that. And yeah, 1996. Yeah, you got 1 year on me. Can't think of anything else to ask. Well, that's all right. You don't have to ask anything if you can't think of anything. And it was Magnolia. It was Magnolia. Magnolia is in my top 3 movies of all time. My gosh, I should really get on that and watch it. Maybe next week, as I say, this week I want to try and finish off my Christmas watching, and a couple other bits and bobs. But yeah, I'll try and get Magnolia done maybe next week then. Because it has been sitting on my shelf for some time in the hallway now, and Alex did send that one to me a while back. I think it's one of the few subscriber mail things I've got left to watch. To be fair. A year you wish you could revisit for me, 2019. No, I'd like to go back, I think. I don't know. I'd have to go through my Letterboxd and have a look, but maybe a decade from the 80s where like all the biggest and bestest blockbusters come out. I'd love to go back and revisit one of those. Or revisit, I guess, actually, because I never visited it in the first place. So actually it would have to be one where I was alive. Maybe 2014. I remember there being some really good movies. 2014, Whiplash, Grand Budapest Hotel. Yeah, maybe then. Yeah, I love 2019. To be fair, I do agree with 2019. It's the best year of like the last since 2016. I'd say it's the best year since 2016 for movies. So yeah. Magnolia is a long film, but it's my favorite film of his. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get on that one next week, I think. But anyway, guys, I've caught up with the comments there, so it's 1:45, so it's not a terrible time to end things. I can see things are sort of rounding down a bit here anyway. When it's just me and you haven't got a guest, it is always a bit. I know it's not as many more people come in, which is fine. I get it. I'm not as, it's always more exciting when you do have a someone else here with you. But if there's any last minute comments that people want to chuck in, because I'm happy to stay here till 9, but I wish I could be a moviegoer in 1994 with Pulp Fiction, The Shawshank Redemption, The Lion King, Forrest Gump, Dumb and Dumber, Speed, etc. Yeah, oh man, like some of the best movies ever there with The Lion King and Forrest Gump. Just incredible. Oh, there's a few more comments come through now. Yeah, no, 1994. Wow. Yeah, I didn't realize all those come out together. I don't know what's my favorite there out of Forrest Gump or The Lion King. But yeah, all of them great movies. Other than Dumber and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big Dumber and Dumber fan. How far away is it for you to go to cinema? It's about a 15-minute drive, depending on the traffic. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad. My favorite movie made the year I was born was National Lampoon's Vacation. I've seen the Christmas Vacation once when I was younger. I'm not sure those films are for me much. I saw that Vacation remake in 2015 or something. I wasn't a big fan on that. Um, but yeah, I should really give them a watch. Maybe that's something I'll do next year. Watch all of the Vacation movies. I saw 102 movies in the cinema in 2019. Wow. I think I saw around like 110 films in 2019, but probably only 40 of them were at the cinema. The others were probably Netflix films and stuff. So that's very impressive. My local cinema is a 5-minute walk from my house. Oh, that's really cool. Apparently, I live in Chesham by a place called Brookfield Farm, and apparently they are building, which is like again like a 5-minute walk for me. Apparently they are building a cinema over there, so hopefully soon, and hopefully it's a really big one, so it will show like all smaller films as well. Because I'd love to be able just to walk to this like one evening, sitting there bored. It's like, oh, nothing on Netflix. I've watched all, no Blu-rays catching me eye. Oh, there's a new little film at the cinema. I'm just going to walk over there and go watch it. I'd love to have that, but I know it's not a long drive for me, 15, 20 minutes, but you can literally just walk over the road. Whenever you watch The Lion King, do you always sing along? I always do. Yeah, sometimes. I must admit, it's a good little film to sing along to. Very catchy numbers in that one. Films that you've seen. Right, films that you've seen, would you love to see at the cinema? Yeah, I mean, I've been to see a couple films at the cinema, which I've seen many times, like Jurassic Park, The Empire Strikes Back, The Wrath of Khan, RoboCop. There's a couple other oldies I've seen. I'd love to see Jaws on the big screen, and it did pop up this year actually on the big screen, but none of my friends wanted to go with me, so but yeah, there's a couple other oldies I'd like to see. I'd like to see the first Star Wars. Um, Actually, one I was just going to mention, someone's just put in the comments, 2001. I'd love to see on the big screen. Yeah, I'd love to see the Lord of the Rings films, but I don't know who would out of my mates. I don't think any of them would dare go with me to see all three of them because we've been there for ages. And getting them to go sit through an hour that's over getting them to go watch a movie that's over 2 hours sometimes is difficult enough. I watch a lot of movies from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Yeah, again, my sweet spot there was 60s, 70s, and 80s. And, the 90s, pretty damn awesome as well. There's not really a bad decade for movies. I know some people will argue today, but I still think there's great movies that come out today. I think the movie industry is very consistent, that there's always good stuff. It's just, I think you have to look a bit harder nowadays. But some of the blockbusters are great. I don't want to just sound like I'm ragging on them because I'm not. I've seen 60 movies in total. In cinemas. From my very first watch was Toy Story 3, and to today. Oh, very cool. My first film was also a Pixar film, I believe. Finding Nemo. 2020, not so much. Bloody COVID. Yeah, it's funny when I look at my rankings on Letterboxd of movies. It's like 2019 was like 120 films or whatever, and it was like 2020 70. 2021 back up to like 120, and then this year I'm on 140. So you can tell which year COVID happened when you look at things like that. 2001. I need to give that film a rewatch and 4K at some point. I need to pick the 4K up and do it. Next summer is crazy. Across the Spider-Verse, Elemental, Rise of the Beasts, The Flash, Mission Impossible 7, Barbie, Oppenheimer, The Marvels, Blue Beetle, and everyone's most anticipated, The Meg 2. I forgot that was happening. The Meg came out so long ago now. But yeah, wow, that is a crazy lineup of movies, isn't it? It's going to be an exciting year for films. Do you watch older or newer films more? Honestly, it's kind of equal, I think. And if you look at my diary entries on Letterboxd, you'll see that it's kind of just all very mixed. What films I'm watching when. But sometimes I'll get in a mood where I watch like 6 or 7 old films, and then I'll be like, nah, do you know what? I'm gonna have a few new ones now. Or sometimes like, oh, I done an old film last night. I'm gonna do a new one tonight. I agree with you about movies of today. Let's go looking, but the mainstream movies, most of them are crap. um, I don't know if I'd say crap. You know, there's this. I think there's definitely some character gone from the blockbuster movies today. Most of them are kind of more on the mediocre side. I'd say they're okay. And then you get a crap one. I do agree every now and then every now and then you get a really good one, like the Batman or Top Gun. So yeah. But most of my favorite films of the year always end up being those kind of smaller ones nowadays. But you know, that's cool. That's cool. I'm sure one day the blockbusters will come back and end up being the best films of the year. You know, it happens all the time. Things like this switch around. Um, I've been catching up on my criterions, watching Dia- Diabolical. No, I'm not sure about that one. Very suspenseful, but also really underwhelming. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I've only got one Criterion left that I haven't watched in my collection. No, I got two, but one of them's Twin Peaks, and apparently I'm gonna watch the show first. So I don't know if I'm ever gonna do that, to be honest, because there's a get me into an old TV show is a bit harder. That's one thing that I do struggle with. But the only Criterion in my collection I've got to watch, other than Twin Peaks, that I haven't seen is Three Outlaw Samurai, which I've actually had for ages. So I really need to give this a watch. This is from it's an old movie, 1964. Oh, yeah, black and white Japanese movie. So yeah, um, yeah, I should really give that a watch so I can say I've seen them all. But Twin Peaks, but I've got a good excuse for Twin Peaks. So, oh, throat's going. I can feel my voice starting to hurt. So we're just gonna go for another 8 minutes, people. Well, we've only got two more comments. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But we're not gonna go for much longer because my voice is dying. How many films do you usually see a year? New films, it's normally between 100 and 120. This year I've gone really overboard. I'm at 140. In terms of just watching in general with rewatches, I wouldn't want to know because it's probably like 400 or something ridiculous because I watch a lot of movies. I'm pleased that I've started to take the Letterboxd app a bit more seriously. I don't want it to sound as pathetic as I just did, to be honest. But I never used to log rewatches for some reason, but I'm really pleased I do now. I quite like going back and seeing what I've watched and stuff. I love that app. It's like my favorite thing. Um, the first film I watched at the cinema was Jaws 3 in 3D. My God. You know what? My aunt bought me for Christmas one year a triple pack of Jaws 2, Jaws 3, and Jaws the Revenge. Because Spielberg obviously wanted his film nowhere near those three. Even though the second one's actually pretty good. But it actually came with 3D glasses for the third film. And some of those 3D effects, man, I'm a bit jealous that you got to see it on the big screen because they're interesting. They're interesting. So yeah. The way you watch Twin Peaks is season 1, 2, Fire Walk with Me, and then season 3. Yeah. I have heard that. Yeah, I haven't even got the show on Blu-ray and DVD. I'd probably like to get it on Blu-ray. And if I did get the box set, I probably will watch it because it is something I do intend to do one day. But it's just not super high on my list, to be honest, because I like watching TV shows a lot when I'm at work, to be honest. I find TV is always a kind of good little background thing for me. I don't really sit down at home much and watch TV unless it's a show that absolutely has captivated me, like Breaking Bad did. Twin Peaks is a Criterion movie. I didn't realize that. Oh yeah, it's a nice little digipack actually. I found it for like a tenner in CEX. I got it for a steal. But Letterboxd should add group lists. Me and my friends are dying to share recommended lists. That's a really cool suggestion, actually. You should suggest that to the guys over at Relay because I had a Zoom call meeting with them about 2 months ago, maybe, and I feel bad because I haven't used Relay since. And it's just because I've been so busy at work. I actually do love the app. And they were lovely. And I said to them it'd be cool to have like group chats on that so you could recommend films to each other and stuff. But yeah, no, Letterboxd should also add that. Top 5 Disney remakes. Oh, I'm guessing this is just like the live actions. Has there been 5 good ones? I don't know. Well, Jungle Book. I like that. I didn't. I actually quite enjoyed Aladdin. I know people didn't. I'm sorry. Chris, you can't count Christopher Robin, can you? I don't even know where my Disney remakes are. You can't really count Cruella either, can you? Cinderella. Um, I'm struggling now. I'm having a bit of a brain fart now. I guess Alice in Wonderland was okay. I don't even know if I can get to 5, to be honest. I'm sorry. Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast was okay. I just checked your Letterboxd stats. It says you've watched 423 films total this year. I'm at 463 so far, slightly down from my 514 last year. Wow. Well, that's amazing. I didn't even know how to check that, to be honest. So you might have to tell me. But I only started logging rewatches around the time the Batman come out. I know it was kind of early in the year, but yeah. So I'm thinking next year I might be up a few more. So cool that you did a Christmas special for Movie Talks on the 19th of December last year as well. Really? I didn't even plan that. Look at that. The 19th of December last year. I'll have to do that every year now. The 19th is my day to do my special. It's all about me. I'm only kidding. I didn't even plan that. I didn't know. Thank you for letting me know. That's actually really quite cool. Yeah, I knew I wanted to do another Christmas special. Last year, the series ended in November, and then it was a big break to the Christmas special. Whereas this year, I didn't plan the series as well, and it sort of ended the week before. So it doesn't feel as like, oh, this is like a one-off Christmas special. It's since the last episode happened last week with Big Paulie. But yeah, no, anyway. But anyway, that is the last comment there, and we're getting real close to 9. So I'm just gonna start rounding up now and finishing up. And say that Movie Bub Movie Talk season 3 will be happening next year. When, I don't know, because I love doing these, don't get me wrong, but I do like to have a little break. So I'm gonna have a little break for 3 or 4 months. Just to take myself away from it all a bit. But I will be on live streams on Instagram. I like doing my little random streams on my phone. So, follow the Movie Bug Instagram page and you'll see me pop up on there from time to time. And I'm sure I might guest on a couple before as well. So I will be about, of course, obviously videos and stuff, all normal content coming still. But yeah, no, before we go, there will be videos. There will be another 2 videos probably. I'll review Avatar and stuff before Christmas. But obviously, while we're here live, I hope everyone has a very happy Christmas and a wonderful New Year. I hope everyone celebrates well, eats lots, drinks lots, all that stuff. And just thank everyone for the continued support over the last year. This channel grows a little bit more every year, and it's fantastic. And everyone who comes by and speaks, everyone who does anything to show any kind of support, it's truly wonderful. It's lovely, and it does catch me off guard all the time. So yeah, and I can see a lot of really nice comments coming through there. And thank you to everyone, and the same to all of you. My love and appreciation really does go out, and yeah. So anyway, I guess we'll end things there. We're literally bang on 9 o'clock. Lovely stuff. Thank you everyone for coming by. And for the live streams on YouTube at least, because you never know me, I might do a random Instagram one again before the new year. I probably will because I'm off next week. But for the final time this year here on YouTube, thank you very much, and I'll see you all next year. Bye bye everyone. See you later.